Hello, fellow members of the PC Master Race. Today I will be showing you guys how to install an SSD onto your slow, hard drive oriented system. SSDs or solid state drives and HDDs or hard disk drives both provide the same functionality to your PC. However, SSDs are way faster and way better than hard drives in every single way. Now let's get started. First, you shut off your PC, then unplug all the cabling, and then move your PC to an open area inside your house. Now, open up the front panel. If you have an M.2 SSD, you will need to find an M.2 port on your motherboard. In some cases, your graphics card may be covering up your M.2 port. In this case, start by unscrewing your GPU from the chassis. To take out your GPU, push down on the PCIe lock and the GPU will pop out. As you can see, the M.2 port is now uncovered. Now, insert the drive into the port, facing upwards at about a 30-degree angle of elevation. Don't be afraid to use a little bit of force. After the SSD is fully inserted, gently push it down and screw it in. If you have a heatsink, gently push it into the notch on the top and lay it down on the SSD. Be sure to screw in the heatsink too. Your SSD is now ready to be used. Don't forget to slot in your graphics card afterwards. If you have a traditional SATA SSD, follow these instructions. Installing these are a bit harder than installing the newer M.2 SSDs, as you have to manually plug in the power and data cables. First, you will need to locate your 2.5-inch drive bay. For me, it is conveniently located on the side near the front of the case. However, all cases are different, and some have them mounted vertically on the chassis. As you can see here, I have another Samsung 860 EVO. First, I'll take one of my drive bays, then I will slide the SSD onto the drive bay. Make sure the side that has the screw holes on it is facing downwards. Next, align the screw holes and screw the SSD firmly in place. There are also holes on the side for additional compatibility. Now, insert it back into the case. Now, if you have a really old PC and do not have any 2.5-inch drive bays, there are a few options you can consider. You could try screwing it into a 3.5-inch drive bay, as many of those have compatibility with 2.5-inch devices. If it doesn't, then you could try using a 3.5-inch to 2.5-inch adapter. These cost around $10 on Amazon. To use a drive adapter, simply slide it in as usual, align the screw holes, screw it in tightly, and now you'll find that it fits perfectly into a 3.5-inch drive bay. Now comes the slightly harder part, which is plugging in your cables. The two cables you are going to need are the 6-pin to SATA power cable, as well as the SATA data cable. The power cable should already be present in your system, unless the only drives you have are M.2 SSDs. As for the data cables, your motherboard should have come with extra SATA cables. If not, you can buy them for about $10 each on Amazon. Starting with the 6-pin cable, connect it to any SATA outlet in the power supply. Next, connect the other end of the power connector into the longer slot on the SSD. Watch your orientation, as these connectors only go in one way. Don't forget about cable management either. Next, we have to connect the SSD to the motherboard. Plug one end of the SATA cable into your SSD. Then plug the other end into a SATA port on the motherboard. You may find it easier if you remove your graphics card before doing this operation. Do a double check to make sure your cables are securely plugged into the right places. You are now basically done the installation. Be sure to put back any parts you may have taken out during the process. Now, move your PC back. Plug in all the cables. Now turn on your PC.